Hi, I'm Nick Shell. You're watching this video because I assume that you watched me perform my newest song called Ego Death. And if you haven't seen me perform that, you can check out the link below. There's a link that will allow you to watch me perform my newest song. So I like to make these videos. I always make these videos right after I record the song because I think it's important to explain the process, the inspiration behind why I wrote each song. For me, a song is always more about just the idea of how it sounds, but it's also what's the meaning behind it. There are plenty of artists who just write random lyrics that don't really mean anything, they just kind of sound cool. I'm not that kind of person. For me, there's a major point, there's a major lesson that I'm going through in life, and that's why I write songs. And a lot of times it's not until I write the song and then I record it, put it on my channel, then I can graduate from that lesson, or at least add it to my collection. And I feel like this song absolutely is a highlight in that reel, because basically what I try to do is every year I try to record at least a dozen songs, so that each year of my life I can look back and think, what lessons did I live through and learn from and add to my collection for that year. So here's the lyrics to Ego Death, and I do want to start by explaining what inspired it before I get to the lyrics I wrote. Two things. One, as always, on the movie Zoolander, there's a song that's actually the Wallflowers, one of my favorite bands, and they're covering the Bee Gees. And they say something like, I started a joke, got the whole world laughing. It's these order of events. I did this thing, and then this was the result. So what I wanted to do was say, here's the thing I did, and it was good, but then it went away. I mean, it's similar to even in the Bible where it talks about Jonah, where at the end of the story, he is ready, he's just tired and he's hot. And so God allows this big vine or plant to grow up over him cause a shelter for him. But even then, like it withered and died up. So like everything that happens is great and then it fades away. So I wanted to write a song like that. And then also I will say that I wrote this last December, but it was inspired by an interview that I watched with Aaron Rodgers on Joe Rogan. And he was talking about ayahuasca, however you pronounce it. But he did this whole experience where he drank the tea or the mushroom tea or whatever, and he was able to like face his inner demons. Now I haven't done that, but I feel like in writing my book about Enneagram, I've definitely unpacked a lot of what's internally inspiring me despite how I act on the outside. And I realized the term for this is ego death. So to understand, like, here's the things I think life is, and then here are the wounds or the things I'm hiding in my closets in the inside. And if I can get all of that out and address that, then what's left, and really what am I focused on in life? So I feel like that's the best way to describe the inspiration of this song. Here we go. Here's the lyrics. I painted a picture, then it came to life. It was so real right here, then it disappeared. So it's this idea, I created something, it was good, and then it faded away. And then the chorus of the song is, the end is the beginning is the end. Build it up, then tear it down again. Light myself on fire, dissolve and deconstruct, collapse into the chaos, then rise back up. So the concept there is that every time you create or you build something, it serves its purpose, but then it leaves. And of course, this is how life works. Every time, when you can find those moments, okay, the thing I was chasing, I got the thing. I can celebrate the thing now. This is my life now. But it still somehow passes you by. You still can't quite grasp it because time moves on and people move on. And it's this concept that you can't really hold on to anything because that's how life is always moving. And we're always aging closer to death, whenever that will be. So you do the best you can to appreciate what you have in the moment, knowing that you won't always have it. There's not, the concept of happily ever after is not real because the story never ends on that high note. Life keeps going on and becomes a lesser version of what you had. So you try for the next thing, and then it fades away. And what you're going to see in this song is ultimately a theme of one of my favorite books of the Bible. Perhaps one of the most influential books of the Bible is the book of Ecclesiastes. Mostly apparently written about King Solomon from his perspective. He had everything he could ever imagine. And in the end, it's like, so what was the point of that? I'm not rich and I'm not famous, but I'm at a place in life where I can appreciate that, like, if I keep chasing things, I'm never going to be fulfilled. So I can be happy with what I have and bring meaning to my life by helping those around me and appreciating living in the moment. But as far as thinking that if I only had enough money, or if I was famous enough, or I got enough credibility, then I'd be happy. No, I can be happy now, and I can appreciate it while I have it, knowing that it's temporary. Which my next song I plan to record is a song called Happiness is a Choice. So some of these songs I wrote that I'm recording this year, I actually wrote last year, at the end of last year. But that's probably going to be the next one I record. All right, second verse. I wrote a song, then the words came true. They guided me and delighted me. Then they left the room. So here's this concept of I can create things. I mean, not everyone can do that. Not everyone can write a song and like have it express what's going on in their subconscious. Because for me, if I didn't write these songs, I would not understand these things about myself. Every time I write a song, it has a lot of meaning about my identity and what I'm going through. And so for me, I have this gift that I can write these songs that about 200 people hear. That's about the number of views that these get, and that's okay. This isn't about me trying to be famous or anything. It's about therapy ultimately. So the concept is I can write these songs that serve as my own type of therapy and understanding of myself better, and then it goes away because then I write the next song. I'm not trying to go and play shows and hear all my songs. For me, the experience of writing a song is to move on from it after I grow from it. And then the last verse is, I played a part on the world's great stage. My role was just an act, then I felt betrayed. So something I knew a long time ago in life is that we want to feel that we're special. We want to feel that we're important. We were told that as kids. And as you grow up, and of course I'm 43, at this point in life, I'm like, am I really that special? Well, I don't know about special, but I have a purpose, and that's to serve the people around me and make the most meaning I can out of life. So there is that concept. But I think the reason I wrote that I felt betrayed by this role that I played, is going back to the concept of ego death. That you live your life thinking that if I'm this person, then everything will turn out well for me. Then all my needs will be met and I'll be happy if I am this person. But even for me, I can tell you, while that is true to some degree, in the end, like King Solomon says, it is all meaningless. It's not like you get this prize at the end that you get to hold on and keep forever and happily ever after. That's not how it is. You continue living your life beyond happily ever after, and it's not to say that you're not happy anymore, but without that next goal ahead of you, what are you living for? So for me, my ego death is having to reevaluate what inspires me, what drives me, what I live for, how I go about accepting that as reality. So hopefully this song can be accepted in a way that can be understood, because without me explaining it for 10 minutes, it could just seem like, wow, this is a very negative song, oh no, the world's caving in and what can you ever do? Not at all. It's a matter of accepting that death is part of life. It's a matter of, just like the Inside Out movies, which I love, and they emotionally connect with me. Most movies don't, but those do, because I think instinctively something I'm always struggling with is having to move on in life. I want things to be good all the time and comfortable all the time, and that's not how life works. Life is about suffering, and that's hard for me to accept. So That's my ego death. Thanks for watching this 10-minute video. And again, I invite you to not write the song, I rewrote it, to watch me perform the song. The link is right here below.